Hey guys, in today's video, I will be reviewing the top 8 best USB C hubs in 2025. I made this list based on my personal experience, and I try to rank them based on their quality, durability, customer reviews, and more. If you want to know about the best pricing and more information, you can check the description links below. Number 8 in my list is Plugable 5-in-1 USB C Hub. While not certified as either USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4, this compact and very portable 5-in-1 USB C Hub, AMS 5-in-1E, offers 40 Gbps data transfer via its USB-C port and is designed for the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros introduced after 2021 or MacBook Airs introduced after 2022. A smart cutout keeps access to those MacBooks MagSafe charger port. The inclusion of the 40 Gbps USB-C port is useful as the hub uses the two Thunderbolt or USB 4 ports in its flush side connection to the MacBook. But, in return, it gives you two 5 Gbps USB-A ports, 4.5-watt charging, and Gigabit Ethernet. The audio jack port is also covered but replicated on the hub. The 40 Gbps USB-C port can be used to connect a display up to 6K at 60 Hz, or offer pass-through charging at up to 100 watt minus 15 watt for phones and other devices. Its closest rival is the Satechi Pro Hub Mini, reviewed above, which features an extra USB-C port, 5 Gbps, but is more expensive, so this hub wins our budget 40 Gbps hub award. Number 7 in my list is Satechi USB C Hub. All of the portable USB-C hubs reviewed here are compatible with the Mac's Thunderbolt 3 and 4 ports, but most feature slower USB-C connections, 5 Gbps or 10 Gbps, compared to Thunderbolt 40 Gbps. The Satechi Pro Hub Max, available in either silver or space gray, features USB 4 ports that are both compatible with Thunderbolt and can reach the same 40 Gbps maximum throughput. Connecting directly to two of the MacBook's Thunderbolt ports, it boasts a bunch of ports that should be enough for most of us. The hub receives 40 Gbps from each of the Thunderbolt ports on the Mac, so a total of 80 Gbps. 40 Gbps is used for the USB 4 pass-through port, while the second Thunderbolt port distributes 40 GBps of bandwidth to the rest of the ports on the hub. The USB 4 port supports up to 96-watt charging, easily fine for a 14-inch MacBook Pro and punchy enough to keep a 16-inch Pro going and charge pretty quickly. This same USB 4 port can be used to connect to an external display, up to 6K at 60 Hz display output, transferring data at 40 GBps. It should allow video output and pass-through charging simultaneously. In a test connection from a MacBook to an LG 4K ultrafine display, the MacBook was able to output video to the monitor, while the monitor was able to provide power to the MacBook, all through the single connection. Owners of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro and M2 Air can charge via the MagSafe connector at the same time as using the Pro Hub. Number 6 in my list is Anker 555 USB C Hub. The Anker 555 USB C 8-in-1 hub is compact and powerful, offering greater specs than some of the other leading options on this list. It's one of two similar USB-C hubs from the company, and we start with the best value option. The 555 offers two USB-C ports, one that supports 85W USB-C power delivery, while another supports data transfers up to 10 Gbps. You also get speedy 10 GBps transfer rates through two additional USB-A ports, where many rivals max out at 5 Gbps. The Anker 555 is special as it offers an HDMI port that supports 4K 60 Hz resolutions, where most are limited to 4K 30 Hz. For 4K 60 Hz resolution, your device must support DP 1.4. This includes MacBook Air from 2020, MacBook Pro 15 inches from 2018, MacBook Pro 16 inches from 2019, and iPad Pro from 2018. Also included are SD and microSD card reader slots. These are rated at USI 104 Mbps, so not the fastest. If you transfer a lot of data via SD cards, look for a hub with faster USI 312 Mbps. The Gigabit Ethernet port is great for those times when Wi-Fi just won't do. Number 5 in my list is Plugable USB C Hub. This 9-in-1 hub is bristling with top-end ports and with an unrivaled 125W to laptop pass-through power is a great match for larger laptops. A 7-inch cable connects the hub to your MacBook at 10 GePs and a possible 125W pass-through charging when the hub is connected to a USB-C charger, the highest pass-through charging we've seen in a USB C hub. Total power output from the hub to laptop and devices is 140W. There's one dedicated 10 GePs USB-C data port, HDMI 2.0 port with 4K 60Hz support, and both SD and microSD card readers at fast USB media transfer speeds. If you need to attach legacy devices, there are two USB-A ports, also at 10 GePs. One of these can drive 7.5W of power to the connected device. There's also a much slower 480 MAPS USB 2.0 port, that good for a memory stick or mouse/keyboard. With its extra USB-A port and faster SD card readers, the 9-in-1 Plugable USB C Hub beats our longtime USB C Hub champ, the Anker 555 8-in-1 USB C Hub, reviewed below. If you prefer DisplayPort to HDMI, the Anker 565 should be considered even with its slower card readers. Number 4 in my list is Belkin Connect Universal USB C Hub. At $140, the price of Belkin's Connect Universal Hub is edging into docking station territory. But it doesn't require a dedicated power supply, and it has a compact build, so it's still decidedly a hub. That price bump does get you a few features that most hubs don't have, namely the option of 3 USB-C ports. One port can be used for either power delivery or accessory support, and dual extended displays with a MacBook after you download the Silicon Motion driver. A number of the hubs I tested had dual HDMI ports, but the second external display was only capable of mirroring the first monitor and invariably dropped the resolution of both supplemental screens. Silicon Motion's Instant View software gets around that by essentially sharing a view of a tertiary screen with the second monitor. That second monitor has a maximum refresh rate of 30 Hz for 4K resolutions, but the first external display keeps its 4K at 60 Hz visuals. I haven't tested every option out there, but from what I've seen, that's pretty good for a USB-C hub. Anything more, and you're likely looking at a docking station. The Connect Universal 8-in-1 is on the larger end of the spectrum for this category, measuring about the same as an iPhone but about twice as thick. The multitude of plugs meant I could run a webcam, keyboard, mouse, Litrolite, 2 monitors, and connect an Ethernet cable. There was still one USB-C port left over for an external drive or power, though I just used my MacBook's MagSafe port. And since they're all on one side, the arrangement on a desk looks tidy, avoiding the spidery appearance of a hub with ports on all sides. Number 3 in my list is EZQuest USB C Hub. One issue with most USB-C hubs is an ironic lack of available downstream USB-C ports. Many top out at 2, and one of those often delivers power only and can't run peripherals. Across 3 keyboard guides, our recommendations overwhelmingly require USB-C connectivity. All but one of our recommended webcams use USB-C, and many external storage drives rely on that port as well. That means if you want a hub that connects your keys, camera, and a drive at the same time, you have to hunt for something compatible. The EZQuest Slim Gen 2 hub gives you not just 1 or 2 usable Type-C ports, but 5 of them. It's also one of the few hubs that has a detachable cable, and the supplied one is a generous 20 inches long. One port is for video output with a claimed 4K output at 60 Hz. Just note that this connector doesn't support audio or drive other peripherals. The remaining 4 ports adhere to the USB 3.1 Gen 2 standard, delivering up to 10 GePs. As with any hub, the more items you have plugged in, the lower the speeds each port will be able to deliver, so that max 10 gigabit rate is for one port at a time. The connections were plenty for my setup, handling a keyboard, mouse, webcam, and streaming light all at the same time. Since I don't have a USB-C monitor, I plugged the HDMI cable directly into my laptop. Even fully loaded, the unit stayed relatively cool. While the included cable is long, The hub itself is super compact and about the size of a scorebar. All the ports come out of one side, so like the budget pick above, it's easy to arrange all your connections to look neat on your desk. Number 2 in my list is Wavlink USB C Hub. This was my first experience with a Wavlink product, as I was previously only familiar with them as a Wi-Fi router and extender brand. My initial impression of the Wavlink USB C 4K 60Hz was disappointment at its generic name, but the performance to price ratio is so impressive, it gets a pass for the lack of branding pizzazz. It's slimmer than most hubs at about 1.5 inches wide, yet the cable itself is a couple inches longer than the norm. The unit and the cables easily tuck behind the laptop, particularly since the ports run along just one edge, with the HDMI connection at the end. The cable is also braided, making it feel more premium than its $30 price tag would suggest, which is the general theme here. The HDMI 2.0 port can handle a 4K external monitor at 60 Hz, which should be plenty zippy enough for an average workday, and I found the resolution and lack of lag to be just as advertised. One of the 2 USB-A ports supports speedy 10 GePs transfers, and the single USB-C jack is capable of the same rate. The webcam performed well, even with a USB as streaming light at full brightness, something other hubs had trouble with, and I found data transfer speeds to external drives to be on par with or even faster than more expensive hubs. Of course, having just one downstream USB-C connection puts a limit on your setup. You can have, for example, a USB-C webcam or a USB-C keyboard plugged in, not both. But if you need something with good monitor output, a couple of high-quality USB ports, and a compact design, this is a good pick. Number 1 in my list is Ugreen Revodok Pro 109 USB C Hub. The 109 in Ugreen's Revodok Pro 109 USB C Hub likely stands for the 9-in-1 claim in its marketing materials, but since one of those ports is power only, the number of downstream connectors makes it more of an 8-in-1. But it's a great performing hub nonetheless. It has all the hookups that might be missing from a modern laptop, including SD slots, USB-A ports, an Ethernet connection, and an HDMI hookup. The 4K resolution and 60 Hz refresh rate looked great on my test monitor, and the data transfer rates were ahead of other hubs in its price range. The speed test on an Ethernet cable was on par with that of a more expensive docking station, and I appreciated the design of the microSD slot. Most readers have you insert the card all the way in, relying on a spring mechanism to push it back out when you're done. Here, the end sticks out just enough that you can simply pull the card out. Those spring-loaded ejectors never work on the first try for me, so this is a more elegant solution. There's just one usable downstream USB-C port. The other is only capable of delivering power to your device. I wish there was just one more USB-C so it could handle both, say, a USB-C keyboard and webcam. But the 3 USB-A ports, with one supporting up to 10 GePs rates, mostly make up for that oversight. Overall, the hub performs well and offers a well-rounded selection of connectors. Alright guys, this was our today's video. If you find this video helpful for you, then like the video, and if you come to our channel first time, then hit the subscribe button for our amazing upcoming videos. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the updated price of all products discussed in this video. Hope you have a great day and see you soon in the next video.